a rectangle is 7 centimeters greater than the width. The perimeter is 54 centimeters. Find the length and width. So let's look at a rectangle. So we know that in a rectangle, this is the length and this is the width. And we know that perimeter is the distance around. So when we're trying to find the perimeter of a rectangle, if I told you that the length, for example, is 10 and the width, for example, is 5, you would add 10 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5. But I didn't give you values. I only gave you values for the total perimeter. So I need to go back and translate the information given to me. The length of a rectangle is 7 centimeters greater than the width. So we're going to make the width x, the unknown. But we know that the length is 7 centimeters greater than the width. So if the width is x, we know that the length is x plus 7. So now we can identify the algebraic expressions that represent the length and the width. So for example, the length is x plus 7 and the width is x. And we know that opposite sides in a rectangle are congruent, so we know that this is also x plus 7 and we know that this is also x. We also know that the perimeter, which is our is 54 centimeters. So the total distance around is 54 centimeters. How can I find x? Who can raise their hand and tell me, how can I find x? Which in this situation is the width. And if I can find the width, I can then also find the length. Noor, nice and loud, please. Before that, before I start subtracting. Amira? Okay, so you can set up the equation. And so you're going to have to use what, Lily, to set up the equation? Yes, you have to combine like terms. So you've got how many x's here, guys? 4x. So we've got 4x and we've got plus 14. So go ahead and solve that for me. I'm not going to walk you through that. You guys know how to do that. Raise your hand when you found x. So you know you're going to use the subtraction property of equality and the division property of equality. Raise your hand when you have x. Antonio? So he says x is 10, so that's the width. And so then now, how do I find the length? Yes, which is 10 plus 7, which is 17. Who could raise their hand and tell me, how do I confirm that I did this correctly? If I know that the width is 10 and I know that the length is 17. Yes, check. How do I check? Alex? Which is? Yep, so 34 plus 10 times 2, which is 20. Add those up, and what do they give you, Alex? 54, so check. Awesome. So right now, everyone is trying number 2 on their own, and we'll go over that in a few minutes.